Hi everybody. This is my birthday video. Yeah. Welcome to the Scott Payne YouTube channel. Gonna change some strings, maybe listen to some goofy stuff. Fun, right?
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. 'Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine.
Enough of that. I do like watching the goofy stuff, listening to the old 80s stuff, the MTV. Fun days, man. You know, when MTV played music. Is that even still around? I don't know. So, happy birthday to me, getting old. So we're going to change strings on Violet, which is 2010 Gibson Les Paul, standard traditional spec and blueberry burst. But this is what I'm doing when I'm quarantined. Have to. Because nobody has common sense any friggin' more. You know, I go out to the store, you know, because every now and then you have to go to the store. But I don't take, you know, I don't take my girlfriend with me, I don't take my son with me, you know, because you don't want a bunch of people around crowded with the, you know, Steve Carino thing going on. So, but I go there and it's been weird. It's been like the last 3 days or so. I see kids out playing and I'm cool with that. Open air, whatever. If your brother and sister, you live in the same house, whatever, you're probably fine. But no, these people are like just mobbing together socially. We were supposed to do the social distancing this far apart. But when I go to the store, then I see the parents with the kids. They have all their kids, little babies, in strollers, in a store. And aisles this friggin' big. Now, I get it. I could go to the store, and I could get sick, and then possibly bring it home to my kids or something. But it's less of a possibility than if the kids and everybody else was there filling the places up, making it more crowded. I see kids sitting around on the floor just grabbing shit, putting it back. You know, it's no common sense. And I've been wondering, common sense is kind of left. Like in a big way. I mean, even younger, I've noticed people, you know, certain people, there'd be a small segment of people that just didn't have common sense. And the weird thing is, like, super intelligent people that I knew back in the day didn't have any common sense when it came to real life stuff, kind of. But now there's just, like, no common sense. Like, most of the people in their 20s, maybe early 30s, that I know around here, I'm not putting it everywhere else in the friggin' world, it's just gone. And younger than that, I'm scared. I mean, these people are really freaking me out, man. You know, there's people that go and they talk at colleges, and if these college kids get agitated because this certain person is coming to speak, the college will bring in a therapy llama, and it gives the kids safe spaces. If somebody comes to speak and you have an issue with the person speaking, common sense would dictate that you don't go and watch them speak. Right? I guess not. Now we have to set off a space, like probably like over in that back corner. Don't know. Could be there. And that's a safe space. And they can all go there. And then we're going to bring in this therapy llama so they can pet the therapy llama in their safe space and feel better because they heard that somebody was coming that they didn't like. Give me a friggin' break, man. This is what I'm saying. This stuff that's going on now with friggin' lack of common sense on everything. And these are also the people. Yeah, sorry, I can't do two things at the same time. If you know, these people that are getting all wigged out and need their safe space, those are the people that are telling you. They're telling you that you have to do this way. You can't say this. You can't say that. Because if your opinion differs from theirs, you're an asshole. You're probably a racist. You're probably a homophobe. You know, everything. And then they also say, well, that people like you are the reason there's violence. And then when they get nasty, the only violence that I've seen are from these people that are whining. They're yelling, they're screaming, they're getting people's faces and just going off. And occasionally somebody will go, and we're the violent ones. Maybe if you didn't go up and get in somebody's face and cuss them out because they're trying to get a coffee wearing a hat that says "Make America Great Again," maybe you wouldn't get punched in the face. Do you know what that's called? Common sense. I'm not trying to be political. I'm not trying to change anybody's minds. I'm not trying to say, you know, vote for this person, vote for that person. But I don't know what to do in that part, because normally when I see stuff going on and I'm, you know, watch the news, who for some reason doesn't really report newsworthy news, they kind of want to just take shots at the certain person and feed facts that aren't facts. That probably wouldn't be the right word then. But they're spewing off stuff that's just not true. Or if it is, they're jacking up the numbers or making it way worse than what it is, and it's ridiculous. Common sense people see that, and we know better. You know, and that's the other thing. If I don't know, you know, if I see something, I go, well, you know, I better check and see if that's true. I do something. I go on Google. I sift through stuff. Like, say I want to know about the Steve Carino thing going around. I really am not going to listen to a bunch of the news stuff. Right? That gives me an idea. I know something's kind of going on. But if I want actual numbers, I'll go to a CDC site. Right? Center for Disease Control. Do you know why I go there? Because they're the people that keep the numbers. They're telling you what it is. That is, you know, I'll pick that, because the reason I'm saying that about the Steve Carino thing going around is when, you know, it started hitting and hit the States, because I remember it was like a governor or somebody in Ohio, and of course the media blowing stuff up. Now, they should be reporting this, but they need to do it in a way where they're not, like, you know, putting numbers like way up here and freaking people out. And this is what I'm talking about, because when it came to Ohio, I live in West Virginia. We were like the last state to get any kind of confirmed cases of the Steve Carino. But the people came on and they're going, possibly 500,000 people in the state of Ohio have this. I went, well, shit. That's a lot. It seems like a lot. Because at the time, I don't think there were even that many cases friggin' in the U.S. or the world, for that matter, when they reported this. So, get on my little computer, get on the interweb, and what do? I go to the CDC site, and I check out how many people have the Steve Carino in Ohio. Now, mind you, this is the same day, the same hour that I heard 100,000 people. And I look on the CDC site, and do you know how many people had it confirmed in Ohio? 50. And then they kept saying it day after day after day. Now, it did go up, but I'm pretty sure that even at the point that I'm doing this video, it was like maybe 200 people. And then I realized I missed the word that a lot of people do miss and overlook, which causes a lot of panic, is the word possibly. Possibly 100,000 people are affected in Ohio. Now, if I missed that, because it was such a big number, I went, what the heck? And I think I have common sense when it comes to stuff, but I missed that number, or that word there, and I'm looking up the number. But how many people that just freak out and don't look at stuff and look it up on the CDC just missed the word possibly and just went, shit, 100,000 people in Ohio already, we're all going to die. And then, and then you got people going out and for some reason buying mountains of toilet paper. Why? So that's the other thing I don't get, the toilet paper. My common sense is, if I'm going to be stuck in the house, I might want to get enough, maybe, a couple packages to get you through. But I would not be stocking mass quantities of TP. I think I'd be going out and getting me some canned stuff, some good food or something. No. At least they did decide to buy some hand sanitizer. For all those people that have the common sense to take all their children that like to grab onto shit to a store. Because, it's not like there's people that go into the stores. Like, everybody there really has good sanitary. My ass. So that's the thing. For my birthday, I'm going to change the strings and remain about common sense. Stay away from too much of the names and the political stuff. But the media's got to fix some shit with themselves, man. They really do. Especially with all their hate. They're going to hate on somebody, and they're going to take anything that's good and either give it to somebody that doesn't deserve it from years ago, or they're going to turn it, or just ignore it and report on something stupid that we've already figured out and fixed from 5 years ago. Get over it, man. I think there's a lot of revenge reporting out there because, a certain person is in office that they didn't want in office, but, get out and vote, man. If you don't like it, go vote. And don't get all tore up and start yelling at people and hating people because, your guy didn't win. That's the other thing. We don't get participation trophies in real life. Alright? You don't get that. I get that it was kind of a nice gesture, but that raises some real issues with me. Just in the fact that, if you go in to do a competition, or you're going to win, right? You're going to... If there's a prize involved, if there's places involved, if there's a winner and there's a loser, that's what it should be. Not everybody should be getting a trophy because they participated in something. Next thing you know, they're going to be handing out trophies to people just to show up, not even participate. And then the participation trophy people can go, yeah, I really won something. I'm apologizing for that right now, because the way the common sense is rolling nowadays, that probably gave somebody that actually has some power an idea, and they might make that happen. If that happens, I apologize to everybody. But it also proves my friggin' point. It's ridiculous, man. No more participation trophies. It doesn't, real life, work, jobs, everything. I'm not saying everything is competition, but, you got to work for what you're doing. You got to get somewhere, and you know what? You got to work to get there. Whether you got to work and be better than someone else, or maybe you got to work to be better as yourself, a better self than, what you were before. Something like that, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't. If you don't, oh well. Point is, that's just not doing good for the kids, man. They need competition, and they need love. They need hugs, and spoil your kids, whatever. But if you keep coddling them, when they get in the real world, it's not going to work that way. Even if every kid is coddled and raised in the exact same way in the U.S., and that whole generation gets to where they're running shit or trying to, do you know what? The whole rest of the world didn't do that. And that's not how real life's going to work. You might teach them. Teach them that, you know, some things are just the way they are. All right? I try to keep my kid coddled and protected from a lot of stuff that goes on around here. All right? Because, you know, I'm in a pretty mellow town. Well, it was. You know, it's not a huge place. It's not a super tiny small place where there's like one red light or anything. It's just, but it was a fairly decent town. When I was a kid, I could go ride my bike. You know, I'd be like 8, 9, 10 years old. And my thing was like, you know, be back when the street lights are on. You know, and I could, you know, if I was going to go, you know, somewhere specific, like to the park, you know, where it was across the highway or something like that, I'd do that when I was older. Or have someone with me to help me cross, you know, the safety thing, common sense thing. But, you know, I could go do that. Could ride around and have no problems. And actually, like, when it came to, like, the situation, like, people drinking and being stupid, I didn't see or, you know, deal with any of that until you're a teenager. And in fact, I've never even seen, like, any of the hard stuff, you know what I mean? Like, the stuff you snort or pills or any of that until I was, like, in my 20s. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, no, 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 you know, not cool. But as I got older, this town started going to crap when it came to the drugs and stuff. I mean, you know, there's people like 2 lanes up, they're blowing their trailer up, making meth. There's freaking crackheads wandering around, just standing on the corner of a street, just standing there with this goofy, stupid look on their face. You know, looking like they weigh about 4 pounds and all scratched up and just terrible. And people on shit, driving around, being stupid. A lot of crime went up. People trying to steal pills. A lot of people with heroin overdoses. I mean, I was outside one night smoking a cigarette because that's one of my bad vices. I was out on the porch smoking. And I see some flashlights, and it's cops walking up my street. It's like, great, here we go again. And then some girls with him, and a dude comes up behind him like, hey, did you see anybody wearing a golden hoodie around here? It's like, no. Oh, well, he just OD'd, and we brought him back, and then when we told him the cops were coming, he took off running. And that's what's going on now. I can't even let my kid, who's 10 years old, it's going to be 11 in July, ride his bike by himself anywhere other than just up and down the street. And even then, I'm checking on him because of all the idiots. When I was his age, I could ride my friggin' bike to my friends or go downtown, whatever. And you can't do that now. People are just stealing shit and knocking old ladies over and assholes. So this town is nowhere near what it used to be, and I miss that. But there's all these people raising their kids that are coddling their kids. And their kids don't see that. And they don't know about that. What's going to happen when they finally go out and they see that? They're not going to know how to deal with it. Now, yes, I told you I keep him away from that. I try to protect him without, you know, helicoptering around him. You know what I mean? When we do the Cub Scouts thing, I go with him to his meetings. I mean, I stay over here. But I also volunteer to help if they need something going on. You know, if somebody can't come in, you know, a parent that usually runs some of the stuff, then, you know, I'll take over and help out with things. But there's no way that I could let him go out there and run around by himself too far away from here. But I do tell him, like, look, this is why, right? Because there's friggin' idiots. And if we're driving from school or wherever and I see, you know, somebody out there just being what they are, I'll be like, that's why I can't let you go out and do that by yourself. That's why I can't let you ride your bike clear down to the park or be at the park by yourself. It's because of that. People like that. So he knows it's there. I'm not completely shielding him from all this stuff. So he knows about it. But there's people that just, with the participation trophies and telling little Johnny, you're the greatest ever. Look, you got a ribbon and a trophy for just showing up. This is going to be a great, wonderful life. And then they put little Johnny to bed. You know, as he gets older, and that's all you're doing for him. And that's all he knows. It's not going to be good for the future, people. I mean, I'm not saying you need to go out there and toughen your kid up. You know, like, I mean, I had some shit growing up, man. I grew up kind of tough, I did. But I also grew up with a lot of love, man. But I also been through some stuff. I've lost a lot of things. I got a lot of things back. Good to go. I mean, I'm not going to get into all the shit that I've had to go through with broken backs and surgeries and, you know, all that stuff. All I can tell you now is right now, I have a wonderful son I love very much. I have a wonderful girlfriend that I love most of the time. Which I got to, because she's the one that lets me get, you know, the equipment and all that stuff. It's really cool about that, man. You know, because Gibsons aren't cheap, and for the first, not now, I can't be buying shit now, but there was a few times, and you know, it was recent that I was actually able to get a guitar that I wanted or something, you know, and all that stuff. And she was cool with it. And so was my son. I even asked him, because I do have to say that the first new Gibson that I bought, which is my number one, I bought it, and I got it because they had a payment plan. It was like $100 a month for 12 months or something like that. It's like a AMS thing or a Zounds thing. The second I got it, I loved it, but I was instantly crushed inside. I was going, man, I can't keep this guitar. I got to send it back. I should just take it away from my son. And that's how I felt. I felt so bad that I bought it because I thought I was taking it away from my son, and I was going to send it back. And this was when he was 4 or 5, I believe, because I got this in 2014. And I told him, I set him down like I usually do with whatever, you know, and talk to him about something serious. I said, look, buddy, I'm going to send this guitar back because it's just really expensive, and I can't keep it because I feel like I don't want to, you know, this is money I could be spending on you. I'd rather do that. He looked at me, and he got sad, and his lips puckered up, and he was starting to cry. He said, but Dad, I want you to keep this guitar. I kept it. I love that kid, man. He's a good kid. I just want him to be in a world that's a lot better than what it is now. But it can't be that way unless people start getting common sense and getting it back. Or I don't know if you can teach common sense, but we gotta do something, people, man. This place is getting, this world is getting pretty shitty, and it has its good points, but we got to keep those good points. And it doesn't matter who gets us the good points, all right? If it's not the winning person that you thought you were going to do, that you were going to vote in to win, I don't care. If we get a win, and it's for a person if the person that got me a win was the person I did not vote for, I would still be happy because it's a win. That's what we need to do, win. And if I say make America great again, it's not because it's a catchphrase from somebody that you either love or hate. It's because that's the way it is. We live here, America. It can be great, and it can be better than what it is. We need to make it that way. And that's not a racist thing. That's not an anti-immigration, anti-anything. This is a thing. this is where I live. This is where we all live. And I'll say legally because I got some issues on that front. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to agitate anybody. But, you know, we can make this place great. We all live here. We deserve it. We can do it. But we got to get common sense back. We got to get rid of the hate. We got to get rid of all this political, you know, correctness BS gone. Social justice warriors. Jesus. They took off Dukes of Hazzard from TV because it had a Confederate flag painted on top of the car. How many freaking decades was that show on with not an issue until this generation came up and went, oh no, we can't let our kids see that. You know what we don't want to let our kids see? The freaking crackheads overdosing in the damn streets. The drug people that have been deported 17 times, running someone over and still getting to come back here. They don't need to see that shit. Let them watch Dukes of Hazzard. It's a car that jumps over stuff. That's what the show's about. It's not about friggin' race. And there again, why do I have to say that? Because no one has common sense anymore. It has all vanished. So please, like, subscribe to the Scott Payton YouTube channel. And we can do this. We can do the Safety Dance.